Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today to talk about this legislation. I introduced Senate Bill 53 because I have a constituent who reached out to me because she and her family had a need for her growing child who is a vital part of their family. I've learned about the need through organizations that advocate for these causes and from concerned parents, caregivers whose lives have been impacted by the limited accessibility to public restrooms for disabled citizens. Adult changing tables can, on average, hold a maximum of 400 pounds and use a hydraulic system that allow them to be lowered within inches of the floor. Changing tables, baby changing tables, can, on average, hold a baby changing tables, which are in public restrooms, are not safe for anyone over 20 pounds. Just think about it. That 20-pounder will continue to grow and weigh more than 20 pounds, yet we have not attempted to accommodate them, or where we have, it's rarely, and cannot be lowered to the ground. California is currently the only state that has a law similar to Senate Bill 53. Signed into law October 10th, 2015, AB 662 requires that all commercial places of public amusement built after January 1st, 2020 include and maintain at least one adult changing station for people with disabilities. Businesses that are renovated after January 2025 must also upgrade their grounds to include an adult changing station. Of the approximately 3.3 million wheelchair users in the U.S., 1/3 of those users have to have help using the bathroom. Disabilities affect everyone, regardless of age, sex, race, and social class. And everyone in this room can think of at least one person they know who would benefit from having adult changing stations. These devices are needed. They are necessities for many families across the United States and would improve the quality of life for so many. While our state and country has vastly improved in accessibility for disability people and their caregivers, we are a long way from making public places accommodating. While wheelchair ramps and handicap accessible buildings are wonderful, they don't serve their full purpose if you have to use the bathroom floor for a changing table. Over 9 million people in the U.S. have used ambulatory and independent living disabilities in the United States, and 19% of the U.S. population has some type of disability. This demographic is one that has to be served. These devices are needed anywhere anyone goes. This includes restaurants, entertainment venue, airports, schools, etc. Having changing tables in these places allow families and users to stay for as long as they like and enjoy an outing with friends and family, and users to stay as long as they want with their families and friends. However, just having them in large public facilities is a start of having adult changing stations everywhere. Currently, Hartsfield-Jackson and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta have adult changing stations. We are a state that value the integrity and quality of life for our citizens. We are better than allowing our disabled population to be changed on the floor. Families, no matter what challenges they face, should be able to enjoy an outing and not have to worry about going back to their homes for the most basic of human needs. We can do better as a state. The legislation like this can improve the quality of life for so many, and for that reason, I will continue to fight for this until restrooms across Georgia are accessible and accommodating for people with disabilities. Now we will hear from that parent who is my constituent, Candace Aaron. Candace?
I would like to say thank you so much to Senator Seay. I do remember reaching out to her office, and I didn't know what her response was going to be, but I had some travel time with my family about a year ago, and we were stuck at the airport, and I needed a place to change my son. And at that airport, I reached out to the customer service representative for the airline we traveled with and asked them if they had space where we can toilet him. And they offered me the floor of a family restroom. And as you can imagine, for a public restroom, in the airport during the holiday season, it was less than clean. And I know that the staff tried to keep up, but so many people went through that airport around that time, and so many people were stuck there due to weather. Started thinking there has to be a better way. And after doing some research, I found out about the movement in the United Kingdom, where last year they celebrated 10 years of changing places. For 10 years, they have had legislation around accessible restroom, completely accessible restroom for people with disabilities. And I said, I have to do my part. So I reached out to Senator Seay, and I explained to her what it is I wanted to do. And I started doing some research nationally and found that there are other parents and other caregivers who were in a similar situation advocating for the right for our loved ones to not be changed on the floor or to not be left soiled, to have full inclusion and accessibility in their community. And one of those parents who have stood by my side throughout this journey is with me today, Keisha Smith. She's worked so hard with me to bring this bill to Senator Seay and their office. And we are really excited that we have reached this point. I know that for my son and for my family, having adult-sized changing tables put in is not only going to increase just his experiences in life, but also is going to reduce the risk of him having some complicated medical issues, because again, the bathroom floor is not a place where anyone should lay. I just want to say one other thing before I let Keisha speak. I just want you guys to think about today, how many times have you used the restroom? Just today, since you woke up this morning, how many times have you used the restroom? And I'm going to imagine at this time probably 2 or 3 times for today. And just imagine having to not even lay on a restroom floor, but take your shoes off in that restroom. Think about that restroom that you used today, if it was at the McDonald's on your way to work or wherever it might be. Just think about taking your shoes off and standing on that public bathroom floor. And this is where a lot of our families are having to use to toilet their loved ones. Thank you, Senator Seay, and I'm going to let Keisha say a couple words.
Hello, I'm Lakeisha Smith, and I also want to say thank you to Senator Seay and all of you who are standing with us here today. The support is greatly appreciated. In addition, I would just like to add that my experience with this has been that I have a 14-year-old son with cerebral palsy. He has been deemed totally disabled, so he depends on me for everything. He also uses a wheelchair. And our experience with having to change him or on the public restroom floor has been for a long time. I live in Columbus, Georgia, which is 2 hours away from Atlanta, Georgia. However, due to the lack of pediatric specialists in Columbus, Georgia, we have to travel to Atlanta a lot. I have traveled to Atlanta 6 times from the middle of October until now, just to see specialists for him. So I can't just turn around and take him home if he's soiled. It needs to be changed. It has been very much of an inconvenience for me to have to change him on the floor. It's been a dangerous experience on me physically, on him physically, on the nurse that travels with us as well. And so this is really important for us. And I hope that you all will see not only the political aspect of this, but the social and the human interest in this. There's a moral standard to this that I hope everyone will take into consideration when it comes to SB 53 and getting this bill passed. If you all can just imagine just having to be laid on the floor. There's no privacy. It's undignified. It's unsanitary. It's cold down there. It's germs and bacteria down there on the floor. And so it's just something that, as a mother, is just one less thing that we want to have to worry about with all of the medical issues. You know, our kids are already fragile. Our loved ones are already fragile. They have weak immune systems. It's just a place where they don't need to be. And I'll end on this note. I was changing him in the bathroom at a doctor's office. And there was a sign hanging up on the hand soap dispenser that said, "We apologize for the inconvenience." And I stood there and looked at it. And I said to myself, an inconvenience. Oh, wow. Whoever hung that sign and everybody that enters this restroom really doesn't know what an inconvenience it is to have to lay your loved one on the floor to be changed. Thank you all for being here with us. We have the support of Angela here from United Cerebral Palsy of Georgia. We thank you so much. If you would like to say a few words.
Angela Easter, I represent United Cerebral Palsy of Georgia. I just want to take a moment to say how proud we are of the work that's gone into this initiative. Our mission as an organization that serves Georgians with developmental disabilities is to provide and support life without limits. We really understand that individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities who require physical help for toileting should never be put in a situation where they are asked to lie on a floor, whereas the moms behind me who are very strong have mentioned that it is unsanitary, unsafe, and just lacking dignity. So we are very proud as an organization to support Senate Bill 53.
And I'll end by saying thank you all for being here this morning, but we as Georgians are better than having any of our kids, because those babies that are on the changing tables today do grow up. And so as they grow, this changing station that can hold up to 400 pounds, we truly need to start that movement across this great state of Georgia so that we can lead the way, following California, that we can do better because we are Georgians and we want to do better. Thank you again for being here.